So you're telling me I shouldn't lock my car at Bonaire beaches and dive sites? Seriously? Well, then what do I do with my stuff? Well, that's what we're talking about in this video, and we're doing it right now. Hey folks, Kevin here on beautiful Bonaire telling you not to lock your car or truck when you visit beaches and dive sites here on the island. I know that sounds crazy, but I bet I'm not the first person to tell you this. If I am, I won't be the last. Your car rental company will definitely tell you the same thing. Here's the deal. Petty theft from vehicles parked at beaches and dive sites is a thing here. Violent crime against tourists? Nope, not so much. Bonaire is very safe. So, what do you do about petty theft? In this video, we'll discuss who most often falls prey to petty theft on Bonaire and ways to make sure it doesn't happen to you. We'll also discuss what to do with your belongings while you're out enjoying Bonaire's beautiful blue water. Let's get into it. First, to be clear, theft at beaches and dive sites is not an everyday occurrence. You're not guaranteed to have your things stolen. There aren't hundreds of thieves hanging around eagerly awaiting your arrival. You'll most likely be fine. So why the advice not to lock your doors? Well, if you're out diving or enjoying the waters of Bonaire, especially at some of the more remote sites, your truck will be left unattended and out of view for hours at a time. If a thief, whether they live on Bonaire or they're a fellow tourist, sees a locked vehicle, they'll probably assume you've left something of value inside, and they won't think twice about smashing your window to find out. Dealing with a broken window is a much bigger headache than having your nice beach towel stolen. So what do? Well, don't lock your truck. I also recommend rolling down a window or two. Most importantly, don't leave anything of value in your truck. Now, a ratty old towel, cheap sunglasses, and a cheap soft-sided cooler are probably fine. Nobody wants that stuff. But please, don't leave a phone, a camera, or your wallet in your car. Ask yourself, if this item were to be stolen, would I care? If the answer is yes, make sure you leave that item back in your hotel in the safe. And folks, I promise you don't need your phone with you. You'll be fine without it. But if you must bring items of value while you're out diving, snorkeling, swimming, and doing other fun water activities, here's what you can do to safeguard your stuff. Okay, so what do you do with those things that you really do need to take with you, whether they go in the water with you or not? I'll tell you what Liz and I do, and there are only a few things that we really feel like we need to have with us, and that is some cash, a credit card, and my driver's license. Also the key to the vehicle, we'll talk about that. What we found that works best for us for years and years is a small dry box just like this. It fits everything we need in there. Clip it to the BC or put it in a weight pocket or a pocket of the BC, and we take it with us when we go scuba diving, when we're underwater. It's depth rated, it works fine, works out great for us. Speaking of keys, it's also able to fit our key. Now we rent older vehicles. We rent from a company called Telerin. They're awesome, they work great with you. Their vehicles are older, and they also provide you with a standard key. So not a key fob, no battery, nothing, no electronics in here. So it fits nicely in this dry box, even with money and credit card and driver's license. So this dry box has worked well for us for years. But you may have other items, and I'll get back to the key in a second. You may have larger items though that won't fit in a dry box like this. Maybe you've got prescription eyewear, right? Maybe you need that and you don't want to take it into the water with you. Or you just have other items that are larger than that. You can always buy a larger dry box, but I find one, they're very expensive, and two, they're often not depth rated if you're a diver to the depths that we dive, and I would hesitate against those. What I find that does work well is an old canister dive light. Remember the big lights? I know everything's now super small, but if you have an old canister light, or if you can find one on Craigslist or eBay, if you take the batteries out, you automatically have a dry box that'll fit a lot of things, glasses, GoPros, anything else. A lot of items will fit in an old canister light. Just make sure that O-ring is in good shape, replace it if need be, and give it a test dive in the pool at home or certainly your first dive here. Make sure that it seals properly the way you want it. But an old canister dive light should work well for you. Now speaking of keys, if you have a key for your vehicle that's a newer vehicle that has the key fob with buttons and batteries and all that good stuff, that's definitely something you don't want to stick in a pocket and get wet and take in the water with you. won't fit in the dry box like this. There is a product called Dry Fob. It's a little cylinder, a dry cylinder made specifically for keys. I've never used one, but they get good reviews. I'll put a link in the description of the video for the Dry Fob as well as the dry box Liz and I use. But Dry Fob, I hear good things. Give it a shot if you got the big key fob with the buttons and you want to take it on the dive with you, or snorkeling, whatever it may be. If you want to take that in the water with you, give that a shot. But I'll give you an alternative to all of this. I mean, think about it. Do you really need to take all that stuff in the water? You can also hide things. I mean, get to know your truck, get to know your rental vehicle, the first evening there. Other than just shaking hands and telling each other your names, get to know that vehicle. There are tons of hiding spaces in, under, and all throughout the truck or the car that aren't obvious. And if you think about petty thieves, they're not spending hours on end dismantling your vehicle looking for things, right? It's a quick, let me open the door, let me look in, is there something I can grab and go? Especially up north in places like Weber's Joy and Carpata and Jeff Davis. They stop the car, hop out, look in yours, and hop back in theirs and go. They're not gonna spend a lot of time looking, so be creative. I bet there are hiding spaces in the vehicle that you can find that are gonna work out great that no one ever thought of. I'm not gonna tell you some of mine because I'm just not. I bet you can look around your car and find some of your own too. So get creative. But even better than hiding something in your car is think about it. Is there someplace else you can hide things? Look at where we are. Look around you. There are so many hiding places all around this vehicle that you can hide your things. I used to do this for years. Liz and I, when we first started making our videos, we would video as we went. And so we had things like an extra camera and microphones, things we didn't want to take in the water with us. So I put them in this, which is actually a dry box, but it's not one you would ever take in the water. I wouldn't trust it. But we would put things in here, then we would hide it out in the environment. I mean, think about it. You've got bushes, you've got rocks you can pile on top of things. There are so many places you can hide things that no one would ever think to look, or they're certainly not going to take the time to look. Right? Now, Liz and I don't record as we go along anymore. We set specific days for recording. So you're welcome to follow us around, but you're not going to find this thing hidden anywhere. And also, if you do hide things, make sure you don't hide it too well. I spent half an hour trying to find this one day when I hid it in a bush that was the same color. And I said many bad words, but I did finally find it. So make sure you have good markers that you know to help you find the things you've hidden. Also, be smart about it. If someone's there watching you, whether it's someone who's diving or someone that's not, don't hide it yet. Hide it on the water side of trees and bushes and things like that. If it's very exposed, like Yellow Hut's a good example, you've got tons of rocks and things you can pile on top of your dry box or other things. But just make sure that it's unique, that you're able to find it after the dive, pick out some landmarks, but don't hesitate to hide stuff in and around the truck. I promise you, it's a very effective method of safeguarding your things, and no one's going to take the time to go through everything around your truck in hopes of something they might find that they don't even know is there to begin with. So these are things you can do to safeguard your things. Consider Dry Fob if you've got an expensive key. For your phones, if you must have your phone, I promise you don't need it, but if you must bring your phone with you, take it in the water with you, get a dive-specific housing for that phone. I know Dive makes some. That's not the only brand. There are several brands that will make a waterproof case specifically for that model phone, whatever brand it is, iPhone or something else. But I would not risk hiding that somewhere or even hiding it in the truck. Phones are expensive now, $1,000 plus. I would take it in the water. I would not trust one of those little envelope plastic thingies. That's just me. It's your phone, do with it as you please. But to get a specific waterproof housing made for that phone and get a good one. Don't cheap out on that. You didn't cheap out on the phone, so don't cheap out on a waterproof housing for your phone. Works also great as a camera housing, so consider that. But folks, that's what you can do to safeguard your things. If I've missed something, if you've got a better idea of what to do when you're out and about, let me know. Well, folks, that's it. That's why you shouldn't lock your vehicle at Bonaire beaches and dive sites. Have you ever been a target of petty thieves in Bonaire or elsewhere? Let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you and your unlocked vehicle at the next dive site.